There's also speculation that oversized goldfish released into the lake by pet owners may account for some unusual sightings.
Okay. They do grow to the size of their environment. That's what they say.
I just didn't know if a giant goldfish could be responsible for all of these things.
I don't know. I never saw one that big. Maybe. I don't know if there's a limit. I think they keep growing. So maybe.
New nightmare unlocked.
Yeah, no kidding.
Welcome to this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Andy.
And I'm Felice, and we are coming to you from Key West, Florida.
So we have some fun stuff coming up.
Yes, we do.
We booked a UFO tour, and it's through David Sloan's company. Mm-hmm. And I am terrified.
I'm so excited. There are so many things happening in the world of UFOs. What do they call it? Like submersibles, things like that. USOs, also life forms on this planet. I don't know. There's a lot happening in the alien world right now, so I'm pretty pumped.
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I'm also just scared because, I mean, all it takes is seeing one alien and then they take me.
You think they want to take you?
I don't know.
They're probably busy. I don't know. You're pretty high maintenance. They'll be like, you know what? Actually, like, let's drop her back off. She got a lot going on.
But every night when I'm walking the dogs, and you know it's usually pretty late, I always am looking up at the sky and the stars, and I'm like, what if? What do I see? And I've seen quite a few shooting stars, which I know are meteors. Anyway, when I've been doing that, but I just think, you know, however long we're going to be on this tour, using this equipment and like really paying attention to what's up there is going to be.
It's going to be so cool. I'm excited.
And David told us that he's like, we see all kind of weird stuff. So I don't know what the weird stuff is, but I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm so many things.
It's going to be amazing.
We'll keep you posted.
We will keep you posted for sure. I'm very excited.
In just a couple of days, and by the time this airs, our event will have already happened, our live event. But you know what's so funny is when we were looking at the guest list, we recognized one of the names, and one of the other ones, I was like, I wonder if this is the same Fran who told me the ghost story about her family's business that we shared on one of the Somebody Told Me. Turns out it is.
Yay!
And I've only met her one time, and I'm really excited. And I'm excited she's coming, and it's pretty cool.
That's going to be really fun.
Yeah, but I love all the little connections, you know, that are unexpected, and then they all kind of come together. And
yes, it's going to be awesome. It's a good group of people. We know some, we don't know some, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah. Hopefully, we don't look like a bunch of idiots.
I know. So hopefully, we don't embarrass ourselves. Even if we do.
Yeah, if we do. We do it all the time.
We're used to it. Oh my gosh.
Regardless, we are so thankful for just the support from everybody who's coming to our event, and also the support of all of our listeners.
Yes. And this is a great time to say that you can show us more support by supporting us on Patreon. We have 2 membership tiers, one for $5 and one for $10. Both get you perks and both include shout outs. We can't wait to have some new Patreon members and give you a shout out. It's been a little while. The link is in the show notes.
You can also go to patreon.com and just search for us in the little search bar. Just search for You Two Scare Me podcast.
Oh, that reminds me. We have another exciting thing. We are a Destination Ghost Tours affiliate.
Destination Ghost Tours offers immersive nighttime walking tours led by trained storytellers who blend research with local legend. Each experience explores historic streets, former hospitals, inns, and squares, while maintaining a respectful focus on the people who live there. So, if you're planning a spooky trip to Savannah or haunted St. Augustine, check out Destination Ghost Tours. Use the code U2SCAREME at checkout to receive a 10% discount. That's YOUTWO Scare Me, all one word.
Yes, I would like to join one of those tours.
Ooh,
I love Savannah and St. Augustine. They're both
I've never been to St. Augustine.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
Ooh.
Well, if you are joining us for the first time, we are 2 silly, spooky friends who love hauntings and anything weird or unexplained.
We know we don't know anything or really understand what's happening with any of this stuff.
Can't state that any more clearly. But don't worry, we have a deep respect for the unknown and unseen forces at work around us. During our episodes, we like to laugh to keep it light and make sure that it doesn't get too crazy spooky.
Yeah, for sure. We hope to bring you stories that make you question everything and give you a chill.
But a quick warning before we begin. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Our tales are drawn from folklore, history, and reported experiences, but we don't claim them as fact. Some stories may include sensitive topics, so listener discretion is advised.
Dive into the shadows with us as we bring you haunting tales in this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. Shall we dive in? There's something about deep water. Not the kind you can see to the bottom of, not like our Gulf here, but the kind that is so deep that it swallows light.
Oh, I already have the chills.
The kind that keeps secrets. And Lake Tahoe has a lot of secrets. It's one of the deepest lakes in the United States, plunging over 1,600 feet down into darkness. It's cold, silent, and ancient. And for over a century, people have claimed there's something down there.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know this. I haven't heard this.
They call it Tessie.
Tessie, okay.
Before the tourists and the postcards came, Lake Tahoe belonged to the Washoe people. They didn't call it Tahoe. They called it Da'ogaga, which often translated to edge of the lake. It refers specifically to the large sacred water source. Fun fact, Tahoe is the anglicized mispronunciation of the first two syllables of the native phrase.
Yeah.
So they called it Da'o. We say Tahoe.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah, shocking. Lake Tahoe is sacred to the Washoe people and has been for centuries. Archaeologists suggest the land around Lake Tahoe has been inhabited for 12,000 years.
Oh my gosh.
The Washoe people have spent much of their time living on that sacred land, and they warned of things beneath the surface of the lake. The Washoe tell stories of powerful water spirits said to live in the depths of Lake Tahoe, particularly near Cave Rock, which is a 300-foot rock that immediately drops into deep water. Stories of these spirits are told with respect and fear. One well-known story is that of the Ong. The Ong was said to be a giant bird bigger than houses, with a body of an eagle, giant wings, a scaly face, and webbed feet.
Ooh, sounds kind of like Thunderbird.
It's interesting. The Ong was said to live in a nest at the bottom of the lake. It was also said that the Ong controlled the currents of the lake. But that story of the Ong stayed largely a part of the Washoe culture. As time went on, white settlers came to the area. In the mid-1800s, settlers started seeing something physical in the depths of the lake. One of the earliest accounts is from 1865 from a man named I.C. Coggin. Coggin was a socialite from San Francisco, so he was probably used to all sorts of weird things.
Probably.
But he reported seeing something impossible. Coggin claimed he saw a huge serpent-like creature. He reported the head was over 14 feet wide. I'm not sure how he estimated that.
That is
horrible at estimating, so I'm like, how did he? He also claimed the body was over 600 feet long.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's pretty big.
Really, really big. So I'm wondering how good his estimation was, but that's fine. It might be one of the typical, male behaviors where things are way bigger than they are.
In reality. Got it, yeah.
So with Coggin's report, suddenly the water spirits and the Ong that the Washoe spoke of were not just folklore. Mm-hmm. Descriptions of Tahoe's Tessie vary, but certain details repeat. Witnesses report a long serpentine body with smooth skin that's said to be between 30 and 60 feet long. Tessie is usually said to be dark gray or black in color, although some accounts describe it as dark turquoise.
Oh, that would be pretty.
Yeah. Some people also report seeing humps that rise out of the water. Another consistency in the sightings is the way the creature moves. Witnesses say it moves wrong. Tessie doesn't move like a fish, and it doesn't move like a snake. Instead, it usually cuts through the water, leaving a V-shaped wake that hints at something massive just below the surface.
Oh my gosh, creepy.
I'm picturing torpedo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes Tessie is spotted and then disappears instantly, sinking beneath the water.
That would be really cool.
I know. Let's get to the good stuff, the
Okay.
spooky stuff.
Okay.
I'm talking about real-life sightings of Tessie. In the 1950s, 2 off-duty police officers reported seeing a large black hump rise out of the water and keep pace with their boat. The thing is, their boat was going over 60 miles per hour.
Oh my gosh.
So whatever they saw, it was fast.
That's crazy.
I know. Can you imagine?
No, it sounds like a dinosaur. I always think that about Nessie too. It seems like a dinosaur got left over.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about some theories in a little bit. Let me tell you some more.
Okay.
In the 1970s, multiple witnesses described something massive hunting in a school of fish. They said it didn't move side to side like a snake, but that it lunged and dove.
Whoa.
They reported it crashed into the water, sending fish flying, and then disappeared. Things really ramped up in the 80s.
Yes, they sure did.
Beginning in the 1980s, a series of striking and consistent reports of an unidentified creature in Lake Tahoe began to surface. See what I did there?
Yes. Got it. So punny.
Many of the reports came from credible witnesses, including hikers, an optician, nuns, and even local law enforcement.
No way. Oh my gosh.
These individuals described similar things. They all said they saw a large, dark figure moving just beneath the water's surface, often powerful enough to create a visible wake. One hiker recounted seeing a creature, quote, as big as a rowboat, noting that whitecaps appeared to form around what looked like its mouth, an observation that suggests both size and force.
Okay.
Not easily explained by usual lake activity.
Yeah.
Have you been to Lake Tahoe?
I have. Yeah.
Me too. I love it there.
Yeah. It's so beautiful there.
So beautiful.
Actually, Bill and I, when we were first dating, we went with a group up there for our very first Thanksgiving away from home, and we stayed in an A-frame chalet. It was so fun.
Guess what?
What you did too. What?
Yeah. Let me think if we were married or not. I can't remember if we were married. We were either not married or very newly married. And we went to Thanksgiving in Tahoe with a big group of people.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And we too stayed in a chalet.
Maybe we stayed in the same chalet.
This one had a sauna and an indoor pool.
Oh, no, we did not stay at an indoor pool. And it did have a sauna, I think, but it did not have an indoor pool. But it was snowing,
Yes.
which was kind of cool. We were there with my friend, we were there with a bunch of people, but my one friend, Nicole, is from Florida. She's from Tampa. And it was her first time seeing snow. And I will never forget that. It was so magical to see her see snow and experience that for the first time. It was awesome.
That's so cute.
Yeah, but it's beautiful up there.
I would live there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
love it.
It's very nice.
In 1984, 2 women, Patsy McKay and Diane Stavrakis, were hiking above the West Shore when they saw a 17-foot-long creature swimming in open water.
17 is so specific.
I know, right? Again, with these estimations, I just don't understand. But McKay reported that the creature surfaced 3 times like a little submarine. The women reported that it had a humped back and that it moved slowly, kind of lethargically. Also, during the wonderful decade that is the 80s, Mike Conway, a local television station owner, reported his own encounter while filming a commercial at Zephyr Cove. As the water suddenly began to churn, several children who were on site reportedly shouted, "It's Tessie!"
Oh my gosh.
reacting instinctively to what they saw. Conway himself described seeing a humped shape moving through the water, although he claimed that the footage captured during the incident was later destroyed. The presence of multiple witnesses, though, lends a weight to the account.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Another compelling sighting came from Mickey Daniels, a longtime Lake Tahoe fisherman and former sheriff's officer. Daniels was someone deeply familiar with the lake and its natural behavior. He described observing a large V-shaped wave cutting through the otherwise calm water, a movement he believed could not be attributed to any known fish or passing boat.
Ooh, that is so crazy. That would be wild to see.
Picture it coming.
Yeah.
Around the same time, visitors Ron Talmadge and Beth Douglas reported seeing a dark shape roughly 100 yards from shore at Tahoe Park Beach. They said they counted 5 humps. Sadly, no photographs were taken during this sighting, but the reports contributed to recorded Tessie sightings. So taken together, these reports spanning decades, coming from both locals and visitors, reveal a pattern of remarkably similar observations. The consistency in descriptions, combined with the credibility of the witnesses, suggests that whatever is being seen in Lake Tahoe may be more than mere illusion or misidentification. But there's something else.
Okay.
The Tessie sightings don't happen randomly. They come in waves. There will be years of silence and then suddenly multiple encounters. Some suggest it's like Tessie surfaces from the deep and then goes back down.
Maybe she has like a long hibernation period.
Oh, maybe.
You
That's
know?
a good idea. Oftentimes, and this is why I chose this, Tessie is spotted in the spring and early summer. Some say the uptick in sightings during these months can be attributed to rising water temperatures that bring the creature to the surface.
That makes sense.
Some argue that if Tessie really is a giant lake monster, how can a creature as giant as Tessie hide in Lake Tahoe? Despite the fact that the lake is shockingly cold, over 1,600 feet deep, and could easily house a giant creature. Another theory suggests that the lake may be connected to Pyramid Lake through an underground river system.
Whoa.
The idea has persisted in part because there have been reports of the bodies of individuals who drowned in Lake Tahoe that have later surfaced in Pyramid Lake, 50 miles to the north.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's also been proposed that there's another lake that's part of it, Walker Lake, which is 65 miles to the south of Lake Tahoe. Some say that this underground system would allow Tessie to travel to avoid detection for extended periods before surfacing and being seen again. And for the record, Walker Lake has its own legends of a giant serpent known as Cecil the Serpent.
Oh my gosh.
So, and there are a lot of overlap between the stories of Cecil and Tessie, including descriptions.
Oh, wow.
So,
A double agent.
yeah. So what exactly is Tessie? Well, much like Nessie, the famous Loch Ness Monster, whose Tessie's name pays homage to, we're not quite sure. Some say it's a plesiosaur, a dinosaur said to have gone extinct 66 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. Others say Tessie is an ichthyosaur, giant marine reptile that went extinct 90 million years ago.
Wow.
Several other scientific explanations have been put forward to account for the sightings of Tahoe Tessie. One of the most widely discussed theories is that witnesses might be seeing a giant sturgeon. These ancient, prehistoric-looking fish are known to grow to impressive sizes and inhabit deep freshwater environments. What do you think of that?
I think it's not big enough.
Well, you know, this is what they say, because sturgeons are bottom feeders and they've been documented in other large lakes. It's a plausible explanation for the large, dark shapes moving through the waters beneath the surface of Tahoe. But the sturgeon explanation doesn't explain the speed or the multiple humps or the number of witnesses that have, you know, witnessed and described the same shape.
Yeah. Also, it's boring. I mean...
This one's even more boring. Another possible explanation focuses on natural lake conditions. Dr. Charles Goldman of the UC Davis Tahoe Research Group has suggested that many sightings, especially those describing humps or rolling movements, could be the result of wind patterns and water dynamics. Under certain conditions, apparently waves and surface disturbances can create convincing illusions of something large moving just below or along the water. But illusions don't chase boats.
No.
They don't hunt fish. And they don't get reported by dozens of people across decades.
Yeah.
This one is my favorite.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
There's also speculation that oversized goldfish released into the lake by pet owners may account for some unusual sightings.
Oh, okay.
But
They do grow to the size of their environment. That's what they say.
Oh, I just didn't know if a giant goldfish could be responsible for all of these things.
I don't know. I never saw one that big. Maybe. I don't know if there's a limit. I think they keep growing. So maybe.
New nightmare unlocked.
Yeah, no kidding.
In 2022, a year-long underwater cleanup effort led by the nonprofit Clean Up the Lake removed more than 25,000 pounds of debris from the lake's 72-mile shoreline. Divers uncovered a range of discarded items, including bottles, tires, fishing equipment, and even the remnants of old shipwrecks.
Whoa.
Particularly near Dead Man's Point, a site long associated with local Tessie lore. Despite the extensive effort, no physical evidence of Tahoe Tessie was found. Womp womp. But I'm not sure what kind of evidence they're looking for. Like, are they looking for a skeleton or like Tessie poop? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
While no definitive evidence of Tessie was discovered, the sheer scale of what was found beneath the surface kind of underscores how much of the lake remains unexplored and how easily something large could hide.
Yeah.
Lake Tahoe's immense depth, I mentioned earlier, it reaches over 1,645 feet, creates a vast and largely unexplored habitat where large creatures could theoretically remain hidden. The lake supports species like rainbow trout and kokanee salmon, so there's a sufficient food supply, enough to sustain a sizable, unseen, or perhaps unknown predator. And despite deep explorations, including a 2025 robotic dive, much of the lake remains largely unseen. So the question becomes, is the absence of evidence of absence?
I don't know.
Even now, the sightings haven't stopped. There's no viral video, there's no crystal clear photo, but there are some blurry ones. Instead,
let's get our iPhone 17s out there, people. Let's get serious about this.
Let's camp out and find Tessie.
Yeah.
But the reports continue quietly. Locals, boaters, visitors, and divers describe shapes, movement, and something large slicing through the icy waters of Lake Tahoe. The legend of Tessie hasn't faded. She lingers in stories and sightings, and in that uneasy feeling when you look out over deep, dark water and realize you have no idea what's beneath you.
Ooh, that gives me the chills. You know, I think, I might be wrong about this, but I think that the waters there can be tricky. That there are drownings, I mean, more often than you would like. And so who knows, maybe it's, if there's this underwater cave system or whatever, maybe that's part of it. There are maybe currents that are going underwater or whatever, but it makes me wonder if part of the legend has to do with the dangerous waters. And, you know, like we've talked about with folklore and things like that before, it's like a tale of warning about don't go near this dangerous thing or whatever. You know, maybe that could be part of how it got started too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I think for me, there's a few things that stand out that make me think like there might be something. One, that the Washoe people have been talking about these things for a long time. And yes, it could have been rooted partly in fear and things like that. But I always think there's a little something behind where that story started, right? Somebody saw something. Yeah. So that's one thing. And those people had been on the land for such an incredibly long time. And then I think, you know, it's one thing if Joe the sailor sees it when he's by himself. But I think when there's a group of people who are reporting it, who are experiencing it at the same time, that lends credibility to it too. And then I think there's an interesting thing about, you know, like sort of clustered sightings. You know, this person sees it, and then at a different spot of the lake that same day, somebody sees it. You know what I mean? Like it's like a
something's
more active
doing something.
time, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, since it's spring.
That's cool.
And there's an uptick in spring and summer sightings, I thought, ooh, I wonder if Tessie will come out and play this year.
Maybe Tessie and Cecil go visit each other. Maybe they're not one. Maybe they're two, and they just go and visit each other and hang out.
They have play dates. They're like, summer at Tahoe.
Maybe they just have dates.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Maybe so. Who knows? All right. Are you ready for Somebody Told Me?
I am ready.
Okay. So this is just a little short tidbit, but it's still spooky.
Okay.
So when I was on that ghost tour in Austin a few weeks ago, I met a lady from Massachusetts who was also on the tour. And of course, every story from Massachusetts is so good and so spooky, you know. Mm-hmm. So as we're walking, this girl starts telling me about when she first moved into her house there in Massachusetts. She's getting all settled, and she decided to switch the furniture around to make it feng shui. She said feng shui. And I think that the place it came to her furnished. So she was moving stuff around. I'm not positive about that, but I think so. So this is crazy. She wakes up in the middle of the night and notices that there are indentations on either side of her in the bed, like someone was standing over her.
Oh, I have chills. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she jumps up and obviously like looks back. And when she looks back, there's an indentation on the bed, like someone is sitting right where she had been laying. So
what?
Yeah, of course, she put the furniture right back where it was before.
Oh my gosh.
So that was crazy. And then she told me about another thing that had happened at the house. So she has a friend that's a medium, and she hadn't said anything about the house to the friend. And the friend comes over and she says, "Hey, there's a spirit here asking why the door has moved." So she didn't know this when she moved in, but then she did a little research, and it turned out that there had been renovations, and the door wasn't the original doorway. They had moved the doorway. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, she didn't know that until after this happened, and then she went and like did a little bit of research and found out about that.
Whoa.
Isn't that weird? But then it kind of made me think that, you know how when people are seeing ghosts and sometimes they see them going through a wall or whatever, what if they're just taking their original route that they always took, and there used to be a door there or whatever? You know, it must be so confusing.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I remember, or maybe we talked about that before too. Yeah. I think that that's such a interesting take on the, you know, and then they disappeared into the wall, and then they, you know.
Yeah.
I really think that could be a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And remember, I think it was Fran's story about the store and how there used to be a staircase and like a door there, and then it was relocated, but that's where she always sees the shadow figure. Yeah. And it's like they're walking the heavily traveled space.
Leslie's story too, about it was her mom's dad that came to visit, and it was something about the renovations were happening or whatever, you know.
I think that
they could hear footsteps on what used to be a wood floor, but then it was carpet, you know. It's just interesting that they can manipulate the environment in that moment. And also it must be kind of confusing for them if they happen to really be there, right? You know? Yeah. But also the one about something standing over her in the bed, that is creepy.
That I still have chills from. That was freaking scary.
And then it sat down where she had been laying.
Yeah, no.
Ugh. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Anyway, so thank you, lady from the ghost tour.
That was super spooky.
Yeah. And if you listeners have any spooky stories, you better be sending them to us. We always need stories. We love them.
For real. And thank you to all of you for listening to this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast.
Listeners, you can help support us by telling friends and family about our podcast. You could tell your bowling league, your eye doctor, your kid's teacher, anyone really.
Yeah, everybody. Also, please take a moment right now and leave us a review. It's so helpful when you leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're listening.
And don't forget to check out our website for You Two Scare Me merch. We have things like mugs, stickers, and shirts. You can also find episode notes, photos, and more. You can even listen right there on the website. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Find us on Instagram at You2ScareMe_podcast, or on our Facebook page, You Two Scare Me. You can follow us on our TikTok account as well. Just search You Two Scare Me Podcast. No spaces.
And like Felice mentioned, don't forget to send us your own spooky stories or stories of lake monsters, hauntings, cryptids, aliens, anything weird for our Somebody Told Me segment at You Two Scare Me Podcast at gmail.com. That's YOUTWO scare me podcast @gmail.com.
Thanks for wandering through the shadows with us.
Until next time, stay curious and beware what lurks beyond the light.